You know, for the gateway to the end of Minecraft, the Stronghold is a little underwhelming. Between its below average loot and messy generation, there is definitely room for improvement. So, continuing our goal of transforming all of the structures of Minecraft, my name is System Z, and this is how Minecraft Stronghold should be. Hey you! Yes, you watching the video. If you haven't already, make sure to check out Realm Origins, a new project I just recently announced. Welcome to the next generation of Minecraft multiplayer. For more information, check the description below. Trust me, you don't want to miss out. Did you know that in order to find the Stronghold in Minecraft, you have to break the one and only sacred rule, not to dig straight down? The Stronghold is one, if not the only structure in Minecraft with no front door, requiring Eyes of Ender to find it. As a side note, have you ever noticed that the Enderman's eyes are purple, whereas the Eyes of Ender are green? Whose eyes are they? Aside from actually finding the Stronghold, the loot and overall experience is very bland, not having had an update in a very long time. So it's time to change that, starting with the structure itself. It doesn't take anyone smarter than your average villager to recognize just how bad the generation of the Stronghold actually is. I guess there is a little consistency with the end portal room and library, but the halls and secrets in between are less than explorable. You'll often find the entire structure split apart by ravines, increasing your chances to fall to your doom into the massive hot tubs below. But while the generation needs a little bit of work, this sort of thing adds to the experience. The Stronghold should remain a challenge, and if that means occasionally finding, let's just say, ruined portions of the Stronghold, that's just okay. So, as far as the structure goes, here are a few ways to make it just a little bit more enjoyable. My friends, this is probably the best outcome for what the Stronghold could offer to the player. Not only do we have new decorations like pots and different vines, which you've seen in the other structure videos, so I won't go too much into detail on those, but also improvements to the entire generation, from new rooms, more loot, new decorations, and so much more. As you can see, not only have I made the pathways double wide, getting rid of that terrible iron door which always seems to cause problems with generation, I've actually expanded the design of the room, making it just a little bit taller, and honestly, it fits more of the Stronghold theme. But anyways, as you can see here, we've actually got a spawner. Now this is probably the first example at how we can improve the Stronghold. We need to bring spawners into them, make this place feel like a gigantic dungeon, because after all, that is what it's supposed to be. Being able to face multiple hordes of mobs, from zombies to skeletons, even haste and wraiths, all kinds of different mobs, this would be a great way to improve the challenge. Not to mention, finding a whole bunch of spawners has a lot of XP grinder potential. Not to mention the new loot that could come from all of the different spawning rooms. Now this is something I firmly believe in. In the Minecraft Stronghold, the players really don't have a reason to explore it, other than the fact that there is an end portal, so they usually just either run straight to the library or to the end portal room. Ooh, what is that? Stay tuned. This is a great way to introduce a new piece of loot that is exclusively found in the Stronghold, something that would assist the player in their upcoming battle. This is an enchanted book known as Sight of Ender, which essentially would be placed on a helmet and allow you to look straight into the soul of an Enderman and not make him angry. I think we could all agree that this would be a fantastic addition to the game, especially considering it would be entirely exclusive to the Stronghold, only spawning once per structure, giving you a reason to explore each stronghold that you find. And of course, from there, we have new rooms and upgraded rooms. As you can see, this is a new idea for a witch room, which of course you would imagine would have one or two witches in here to make the challenge even more difficult, but also new decorations. This is the point where we can start seeing the new decorations like chains being added to the existing structures. I don't know if you've noticed, but a lot of the structures still use torches instead of lanterns, and those have been in the game for a while now. This is a great example of how amazing this place could look just by introducing those decorations. We've got a really spooky, I guess, dungeon vibe from these chains and skeleton. Not to mention, it's a great way to give player heads. I love this idea. Plus, we could also make the prisons just a little bit more lived in. I mean, who knows who was in here? Maybe it was Dun dun dun. Herobrine. No, that would be crazy. And of course, last but not least, before we head off into the final room, this chest would actually be a great example to how we can make the stronghold more challenging. Trapped chest. It makes sense, and honestly, we don't really see any trapped chest other than maybe the jungle temple, if even that. I think I'm stuck down here now. But as you can see, I fell into a hole and was able to think fast enough to avoid the lava, but some players might not be able to face the same fate. This is a great way to make the stronghold more challenging. Hey, while you're up there, can you send some help? I'll be down here for a while. The stronghold is looking better than ever, but what does it matter if at the end of the day the players still rush forward to the end portal room, essentially skipping the stronghold and treasures that it offers? As it currently stands, the stronghold really doesn't have much to offer to the player, apart from a bunch of free books and maybe some bread. No, seriously, bread. This is supposed to be the gateway to the technical endgame. They may be taking looting some gluten just a little bit too seriously. So, how should we make the stronghold both more challenging and rewarding? Thank goodness that vines grow, because otherwise I would still be stuck down in this hole. Definitely don't fall into the traps. But that being said, it is time for the moment you've all been waiting for. The final battle, leading up to the Ender Dragon, the Ancient One, better known as the Nameless One from Minecraft Dungeons. But hold up, System Z, wait a minute. Aren't we already about to face the Ender Dragon? Do we really need to face another mob, another boss before that final fight? And the answer to that is yes, I actually think it's necessary. You see, let's kind of skip past this battle here for just a moment. As you can see, the end portal room is directly behind that boss, making it so that you actually need to defeat him in order to get past. And the reason I think this is necessary is because, simply put, Eyes of Ender, which used to be the reason you couldn't easily get to the end, are now incredibly easy to obtain. I mean, go to the end or the nether and do a couple of bartering sessions, or even just go to a warped forest, and you'll have loads and loads of ender pearls. So this would essentially give us a reason to grind and work for netherite gear to take on the Ancient One before actually even coming to a stronghold. Otherwise, we definitely would not be able to handle this fight. As you can see, he has 100 health points, so it is one of the most powerful mobs in the game. Not to mention, it's got the Ancient Orb. A little bit more on that in just a moment. Let me know in the comments below how you imagine this fight could go. This is definitely one of the most unique mobs that we would have in Minecraft, seeing as this would be kind of a humanoid creature, perhaps walking around and slowly using its tool to actually attack you. So the only really good source material we have to go off of is Minecraft Dungeons, but I like to be a little bit more unique. So let me know how you think this boss would attack and how you would attack it. But that being said, if you did manage to kill it, it would drop a single item, and that is the Ancient Orb, which is powered by a new material known as the Essence of Void. Now, the specifics of this are a little weird, but I'll go into that here momentarily. The Ancient Orb would be a really handy tool, especially in the end. And it might be a little outrageous, I'm sure some of you won't like this idea, but I think it's a pretty cool one regardless. Imagine that you can actually stand in a specific place and right-click to use the item, getting a sound similar to when you use and activate a lodestone. It would then create somewhat of a portal using particles in that spot. And whenever you essentially right-click again, it would use up any of the Essence of Void that you have and essentially teleport you back to that spot, using the powers of the Void to essentially create a linking portal. I know, that sounds awesome. But does it really sound like it fits Minecraft? That's gonna be a question for you in the comments. But that being said, let me give you a reason, or actually two, that this would be amazing. Imagine you're in the end and you're about to die, but you've set a place, a portal, on the end stone, and you're falling into the void. You right click and it will simply teleport you back, but only if you've got Essence of the Void. which before the battle you would probably get just a little bit from the ancient one, or even find it in loot chests or even the vases along the dungeon. I think that would be amazing. The second example is whenever you're trying to bring a villager back home after traveling thousands of blocks. Let's say you've created a portal and you can simply right click a mob and have it teleport to that location. That would be amazing. But of course, let me know what you think of that idea down in the comments below, as well as how you would find Essence of the Void. I like to imagine that when a mob dies to the void, a chance of it dropping out of, say, the end portal could be awesome. Not to mention there's a couple of ways we could use it, but we'll talk about that here momentarily. That's more like it. Not only do we have a new mini-boss to make entering the end dimension just a little bit more challenging, we also now have the Ancient Orb, along with the new Essence of the Void material. But it doesn't stop there. With the addition of these materials, we can introduce new crafting recipes, specifically being used to craft end portal frames, bringing the end dimension right to your doorstep. Sure, we may have made the stronghold more exciting and challenging, but that doesn't mean we would want to come back every time we need to visit the end. This would be a great way to require a player to visit the end before being able to obtain end portal frames, keeping it as content for the endgame portion of Minecraft. But of course, these are just my ideas, so I would like to know your thoughts of an update like this down in the comments below. And if you could add any of your own ideas to mine, what would they be? That's gonna be it for today's video. If you enjoyed, make sure to leave a thumbs up and consider subscribing and turning on notifications so that you're alerted whenever I next upload a video. Next week, I plan to make an entire week dedicated to the hypothetical cave update. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. That being said, my name has been System Z, you guys have been awesome, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.